Okay, then welcome back. So today I'm just hinting you about how you can do with a linked list queue operations. So dealing with linked list queue operations needs again 2 pointers. So let me share the screen. Yeah. So is it visible to you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So earlier we have something like root, right? So root pointing to the first node. So now, whenever, because array can be created or linked list, list can be created beforehand without inserting any values. That's what you have to understand. Considering linked list, it's not like linked list is existent without nodes. No, linked list never exists without nodes because nodes are very important. At least one node should be there to tell that it is a linked list. So now understand, if you have a root, earlier we said that our top will be root, and after that if you add another node, the top will be always equal to the last node of the linked list because we consider it as the top node. Now see, the queues is little bit different. The queue doesn't eliminate or delete the nodes on one side. Earlier in the stack we used to delete on one side, right? So when we are having stack here, so this is one node, this is one node, this we consider as top, right? And if we add another node, a new node will be created and the top will be equal to the tops next. If we want to pop something, we just move the top here and make it none. That means it is cancelled, so the top will be here. It is a very simple operation because we are only popping out on one side and we are adding only on one side. Queues are not like that. Queue in the sense you add on one side and pop on other side because it is always first come first serve. Like your what we say processors, which comes first will be served, right? The same way, the linked list queues will have the first node will be deleted first and the last node is deleted last. So if you have created something with a single node, then you will have something called root pointing to this first node. And remember, both front and rear also points to this. Whenever you want to enqueue something, you can create a new node like this, which is by default none, and it is called new node NN. The next thing that you do is wherever the front is, wherever the rear is, the rear's next is equal to new node. So rear dot next is equal to NN, new node. So now there will be a link between them, right? And the next thing you do is rear is equal to rear dot next. So you just go to the other one. That's all. So you can make the rear here. Now you have added something in this and you can put the value something like 10 or something. So this has been connected to this. So imagine that I have already said to you that it will contain addresses and the addresses will be written in the next address. Don't forget those concepts. If you forget that, you don't write the code. So when you go for interviews in the campuses, Most of the times people will ask you to write a small snippet of how do you insert in a linked list. If we don't write even such small program, they will never recruit you. And this is where we, face a lot of difficulty. See, in nowadays, the filtration in the companies happens with the first round as a competitive coding. They will give 2 to 3 code and some other verbal or something, but most probably I have heard from the company, employees, in future, there might not be any quant or aptitude. Maybe the mathematical quant might be there, but most probably people will give everything as code only. So every puzzle will be your code. So whatever you write, you have to write and pass the code. That's all. And I think you know that many hackathons have been conducted all around different websites like Binary Search, Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, and Code Chef. These are some of the websites where competitive coding is highly, active in terms of many students or the coders doing it every day, almost for their practice of brain. Now see, I do still now, because once we leave away whatever we are trying to learn, we never remember it again. So coding is like the medical sciences. If you forget how to code, again regaining the knowledge means again reading from the first. You will never remember it. Like, it's not like one time learning and lifelong acknowledgement. It's not like that. It never gives you an acknowledgement for the lifelong that you are certified for this, and you will be. See, even a Java certified person will forget Java within 1 year if you don't practice Java. So for example, I have made some applications in Java, I have taught Java, but now if you ask me immediately, I will just look into the book or website to just make myself remind about what is the syntax of this. Sometimes not many things, basic things will be remembered, but not the deepest part of the coding. That is the reason why you should have a practice. See, as I am an employee of some institute, still I am practicing. If you leave away the practice, one day you will forget everything. By the time you come to fourth year, that's what people are facing. You will pass the lab exams, you will pass the theoretical exams in the coding, but by the time you go to the interviews, the people will say these persons have no knowledge and they are not fit for our company. I am surprised by many cases like this, because people are very good at their first year and second year. By the time they come to fourth year, they are saying that this person is not good. He was not selected in the company. This is all because we are losing the practice. And remember, at our times, we don't have any such websites to practice. They are not even eligible in India. But now you have many websites to practice. And I am always recommending you, one of the best thing is, first thing I prefer is the Hacker Earth. Because in Hacker Earth, they will even give you the test cases. What are the test cases that you have? And based on the test cases, you can change your code. They will give some 10 test cases, and all test cases are visible to you. It will also show you at what test case it is wrong. So based on that, you can change your logic. It's the basic version of how you learn the competitive coding. And don't underestimate Hacker Earth as only the basic way of learning code. It's like, first it will start with basics and go on with the higher versions. And I also recommend you about Binary Search. It's one of the very good competitive coding website where it's completely professional. So from where sometimes I will get the puzzle problems also. So once I see one puzzle, I will design my own puzzle sometimes, because I am very interested in learning what he has given and how I can generate my own. So I will produce a story and I will generate my own problem sometimes. So and in those I have given to you some problems, like, not you, I think for competitive coding people I have given, like the earlier second years. So that's what I'm saying. If you do competitive coding, you can generate the competitive coding also. Once your brain starts to generate, for example, you read a lot of book. So lot of books you read and lot of novels you read, and one day after 1 year or 2 years of continuous reading, you will become a writer. You know how to write. You want to express something. That's what here it comes. Like if you start coding, you can generate your own problems also. This is what the companies want. The companies doesn't want your tuck tie, white and black, combination of shirt and trousers, everything. That's not important here. I see people who go with chappals without certain English knowledge. They never speak posh. And I know a person whose date of birth is also not known to him because his parents are completely uneducated. And he is very good coder. Because of his coding skills, he was selected for a company. And from there, he never stopped. He is going on increasing his salary, his profession. He still doesn't talk very, in a loud sense when coming to English. He's a little bit unconfident, but he is very confident at his knowledge. That's enough. How the old Greeks and Indians have interacted. The Indians never know the Greek and Greek never know the Sanskrit or Indian languages. Knowledge is a better part of communication. If you think English is for communication, then why my dog is communicating with me to drink water? It doesn't say, hey, Kranti, can you give me some water? This is a bad notion that people will force you to, become slaves of another country's language, saying that English is only the way of communication. Why? Yeah, we have Telugu, we have Bengali, we have Oriya, Tamil, Kerala, Malayali, Karnataka. Why? Why should we depend on some other language? And of course, I am telling everything in English, you see. That's our life here, the slavery life. So at least bring out your knowledge. Knowledge will never encourage this type of things. Okay, come back to this. So coming to this one, so we add the rare with a new node, and so the new node will be becoming the rare now. So you can see the queue has been formed. And if I want another node to be added, so what I will do, same thing. I'll just make another new node. This time it is not new node. Another new node will be created with none. And this is new node pointing to this. And wherever the rare is, so rare is catching hold of this, right? You have big O of 1 complexity. Already the rare is there catching hold of this address. So wherever the rare is, you find the rare node, and rare's next is equal to new node. Simple thing, you connect like this. And after that, you say rare is equal to rare next. So you go on with this increasing. So now rare is pointing to this. And somebody has said, I want to dequeue it. So now tell me, what do you do for dequeuing? What is the statement that you do for dequeuing? Can anybody tell me?
Front equals to front dot next.
Yes. Front is equal to front dot next. So in this case, your front will go to this one. And remember, before going to it, please cut down this link. Why to waste this memory, right? If you cut down the link, so it will say that, okay, fine, I can do it. So move the root also. So move the root also along with the front. So what you do is, not only front is equal to front dot next, you can also say root is equal to root dot next. So your root also points to this because we are discarding this one. And if you want to delete this, you can simply take a temp variable, right? Pointed by the root. When you say root is equal to root dot next, you can simply make temp dot next is equal to null. That's all. So it will be cancelled. Just look into this. Just imagine how the memory works. You will definitely code it. Say, I'm simply writing, right? How the statements are there, very truthful here. According to the diagram, I'm writing the statements. Just assembling them in a right way will give you the answer. Now, if I say display, from where you start?
Root.
Yes, root, because root is always our friend. So you start with while something something, you wrote the statements, right? From root you go, you traverse the whole thing one by one up to you find out null value. Of course, null is something like your rare, right? Up to the rare also you can find out. So I think now you can code it. Just try to code this one. See, this is all what we have discussed in the linked list. Everywhere I have told you that how you can do it in different things. So I told you how to add something to the front, how to add something to the back, how to delete something from the last, how to delete something from the middle, and how to delete something from the front. This is all we have already discussed in the linked lists. But now we are naming it separately. So one way of deleting and adding is called a stack. The other way of deleting and adding is called a queue. That's what we are naming it. I'm just reminding you how you can do it. So please take 2 pointers and a root and follow my instructions. Write your own code. I told you again many a times, please don't copy. Understand and write the program. Discuss with your friends. For each line, you understand why you are writing that line and write with your own things. Find out the overall logic from your friend. Get a rough note of what he is saying. Get the algorithm from him and at least learn to write and learn to copy algorithm, and from algorithm you try to convert that into code. Then you will get your own code. Why to copy from sentence to sentence including the line number? This is very bad, right? If that guy has written in the 14th line, you will also write in the 14th line. I don't know why he has given 3 spaces, you also will give the 3 spaces. ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనం బండ బూతులు రాస్తుంటాం. ఎట్లా రాస్తామంటే వన్ డే a friend has written class like this, and the other friend has written CLAUS. He doesn't know what it is actually because he's copying. The other person has written DANS. This is the biggest comedy that we have laughed a lot for a whole 1 hour because my teacher has shown this one. He clearly showed that wherever the code has been copied, because line to line has been copied because they don't know where the lines are. But you know, the spelling mistakes are also. He has finally thought that this is D, this stupid fellow did not make it, so I will write very beautifully. So, so he has run it very, very beautifully with dense or dance or something. And this guy never went to the class. He was never present in the class most of the times, and he doesn't know what is happening. He doesn't know what is class also. He just simply copied it. So please don't do this type of mistakes. It's your future. I'm daily begging for your future, not my future. Okay? Please try to understand. Now you can continue doing your assignments and also try out this problem. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay, then we will stop the session today. Bye bye.